How did I like Italy? I love Italy. I still love Italy. And the reason I love it, and the film industry there, is that it was collaborative. The one thing I didn't like about American filmmaking in general was that everything is segregated. And you move a light for a grip and he'll kill you. There, everybody collaborates to do a film. It's granted a low-budget film, but still we all sort of work together to get a good result. That really, every time I left a film, after 8 weeks of work or 10 weeks of work, I felt like weeping because these are some people that I wouldn't maybe see again, and we were a family. They become a family. That's what I liked about Italy, and the food, and a lot of other things, but mainly the collaborative spirit. You know, how I got in it, I was working in the theater in Paris. I was in Chekhov's Cherry Orchard at the Quai d'Orsay at the American Theater. A producer came to see it and offered me a movie. At the time, I thought I was a theater actor, so I said, no, not really, I passed. The next day, he came with 5 pictures, a contract for 5 pictures, with money that I could only dream. You know, so I said yes. That's how I began going to Barcelona and did, actually, the year before Eastwood arrived, did the first Western there at Balcazar Studios when they first opened it. So. But if you ever have a chance to go to Europe, the lifestyle is so much healthier. That's all I can say. I love America. I'm American, but I'm telling you, the way they live life there is the way we all should live life.
Come on. How did you get the movies? I'll tell you. I got a minute from you first.
Or you tell me. I went to Italy in '68. There was a film that was going to be done, and I thought if I was there, I'd have a good chance of getting it. It was 100 Rifles with Raquel Welch, Jim Brown, yeah. And as luck would have it, I was on that film for 3 months. We shot it in Spain, and that was the beginning of my career in Italy. Prior to that, though, I started working in dubbing, and I did an awful lot of dubbing. We called it dubbage in those days. It wasn't. We did the best we could at the time, and
all the films were dubbed.
Everything was dubbed. Everything was dubbed. Unlike what we know here, everything is done in direct sound. But there in Italy, and everything was done on what they called a dirty track. It didn't matter what kind of noise or anything else that was on the track because they were going to dub it anyway and dub it in many languages. And most of the time I was dubbing in English. And we had a group there called the English Language Dubbing Association. I would like to call attention to somebody in this audience who was the president of ELDA, as we called it, the English Language Dubbing Association, who also did an awful lot of films there. I want to acknowledge him, Jordan Brown. Yeah.
All right.
A wonderful actor, also a wonderful dubber. In fact, I think he dubbed me in a film. I was doing something somewhere.
I saved you in a film.
Saved me? There he is. Thank you. Thank you. Probably did. No question about that. But I mean, many times we do a film, and then we'd be contracted to do another film, and about that time they were going to put it into English or into a clean track, whatever. And if I wasn't available, somebody else would do it. Now, I did a couple of films that I've heard the voice on it. I will tell you, they're awful. The voices that they put on me, I sound like, I don't know what I sound like, but it's not what I would have liked to have heard. You know, everybody thinks, you know, well, I have this wonderful voice, this melodious voice, and so forth and so on, and you always think that's the way it's going to come off. Well, many times you kind of kid yourself into believing that. Anyway, that's, I did a lot of films in Italy, not just Westerns, but the sword and sandal type of thing. A couple of what they call gialli, which means cops and robbers type of films. Did a lot of those. So it was, somebody once asked me, he said, what was it like to be in Italy for 10 years? I said, I was on a party for 10 years. I really was. It was like being on a party. If you weren't playing as I played a lot of tennis and golf in those days, you were working or you were having a few drinks and dinner and so forth. So it was a wonderful time.
I do stick out because I'm a German actor. But, and I...
We'll dub you later.
I actually met Duccio Tesari privately, and he said, I'm looking for somebody like you. That was the bastard, Juliana Gemma and Rita Hayworth. And I was 6 weeks on the film, and from then on I just carried on and did 22 spaghetti westerns and just work all the time. And but I'm a veteran actor now. I finally became a principal actor. It took a long time, but I got there.
I'd like to say just a few words about some of the people I know here. Like Mark Damon. Mark was already a well-known actor in Hollywood, and when he came out, I remember he was always somebody who studied the camera, studied and knew the people, and not only that, but you made money doing crossword puzzles, which to me is the most incredible thing in the world, even the ones in England. But he became a big producer. From being a fine actor, he became a big producer, which, if anybody knows anything about producing, that's not the easiest job in the world. I did a few films, and believe me, I learned that I'm not a producer. But Red Halsey, Red also, he did a big TV series, 20th Century Fox, and it was very well known, actually. And then, of course, if I don't mind, Mark, I say to you that you were a fine actor and you didn't say much about your career in Hollywood. I mean, you were already doing very, very, very well when you came out. You were very well known in Hollywood before you came out to Italy, and you did very well there too. You did some very important films. So these are three people I knew beforehand, and I must say, I don't know about you, Robert, but I felt very intimidated by all three of them.
I'm not intimidated by anything. I walked into Schwab's when Schwab's used to exist, and I saw this figure of a guy walk in. He had his collar up, he had a white jacket and black hair and piercing blue eyes, and I said, God, if I could be gay, I guess it would be now.